Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. I'm Sandra, Plant Rich Sandra, and I just want to give you a little heads up if you happen to hear any growling in the background or any activity comes across the screen. It would be the three cats, my son's cats that I'm keeping for him. They are a little excited this afternoon, and so they are, you know, the girl doesn't like one of the boys, and so they get into little scuffles every now and then. She wants him to stay out of her way, and so she's been growling at him this afternoon. So please bear with me in case one of them runs across my lap or if you hear them fussing at each other in the background. So, what I wanted to talk about today was how's it been going with the plan that I initiated a few days ago, which was a combination of Dr. Fuhrman's Nutritarian Radical Weight Reduction Program and combining it with OMAD, which is one meal a day. So, I decided today that the waiting until 3 o'clock was a bit too much for me. And so today around a quarter till 12, because the problem I was having was that between 12:30 and 2:30, I was getting so hungry that I noticed that it was interfering with me getting just living my life. I was too hungry. So I realized that for me, one meal a day is not really, at this time in my life anyway, right now, is not really working for me. So I decided to go ahead back to the two meal a day plan. Although I would like to keep them a little bit closer together than 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. I would like for it rather to be 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. And I would like to continue eating the same amount that I have been eating on the, trying to have a 3 hour window. I would like to maintain that amount, but just spread it out a little bit more. So today I did what I've been doing, which is because I've been so hungry by 2:30. The first thing I do is head straight for what I consider to be now my comfort foods, my go-to, the things that fill you up quickly. So my salt-free vegetable soup and my cup of beans. I've been heading to that. I mean, and my fruit, which I love the fruit. I love the sweetness of fruit. So those three are my three favorite things. So I go straight. Today I went straight to them again, but I did it at noon, and then I just completely filled up on those things at noon. And I got to and I did add the tablespoon of the flax and the chia seed combined. And I got to thinking that if I'm going to go back to the two meals and the wider eating window, that it would be better for me to take one of those three items and bump it to the 4 o'clock. So starting tomorrow, the beans are going to go to the 4 o'clock. And so the 12 o'clock will be the soup with the flax and chia and the fruit. And then at 4 o'clock will be the raws and the beans with the ounce of the raw nuts and seeds. I might also take one of the fruits and bump it to the 4 o'clock. Or I might go back to taking the fruits and turning them into a smoothie again, like my 5 fruit sorbet. I might go back to doing that because I really enjoyed the 5 fruit sorbet, and maybe turn it into a 3 fruit sorbet and, go back to having that again. I don't see any problem with that. So, but yesterday morning, I forgot to mention that the scale had dropped to 131.6, and this morning the scale dropped again to 131.0. So, I feel like it is working here, plus my exercise, I'm sure, has been helping too. So, 2 days ago, I walked 6.7 miles that morning, walked around country roads in Webster. Yesterday morning, I didn't walk as far, and I think I slowed down just a little bit from what I had done the day before. Especially near to the end of the walk, I start getting a little bit slower, I noticed yesterday. And yesterday I walked about 5 miles, and I believe that playing on my phone, reading every time I'd hear a Facebook notification, I would pull my phone out of my pocket and check it. rather than just like listening to Audible or whatever. So I feel that that is a mistake to I wasn't focusing on the phone, but to allow it to distract me, because every time I pulled it out, I slowed down subconsciously. I slowed down without realizing it in my walking. So this morning when I was out there, I did not continually, every time I heard a ding of Facebook, I did not continually pull the phone out. I was listening to Dr. Fuhrman in some of his presentations. I was not listening to Audible. I was listening to some of his speeches from YouTube. And so I just listened, and I did not stop to look at, I didn't slow down to look at Facebook. So this morning I ended up, because I was doing that, I ended up running. I just suddenly felt like, you know what, let's give running a try this morning. And I had done that in the past, but today, because I went straight to the track this morning, I ended up running 1 mile solid without pausing in between. And so and then I ran from the gate of the track back to down to my road. So that was another 0.6 miles. So this morning I ran 1.6 miles with a break between the 1 mile and 0.6, and then I walked 4.1 miles additionally. So I got in 5.7 miles this morning total of running, of jogging and walking, and I felt very good about that. If I have a blister from 2 days ago under my left foot, and so if I had not had that blister, I feel like I could have walked a lot more, but it was painful after the running portion, and so it slowed me down quite a bit. It wasn't the activity that slowed me down, it was just the pain of that blister from 2 days ago. So yes, that's Freddie helping out here. Okay. So I, hope that as soon as that heals up, then I will be able to start running a little bit more, after the blister goes away. So this morning when I got home, I got onto Google Maps, and I gauged, I put it in walking mode, and I figured out distances from my home to the local restaurant, and from the local restaurant to the gate of the elementary school, and from my home to the public library, and from the restaurant to the public library. And I wrote it all down so that I can keep better track of my distance, especially when it comes to this jogging. I would like to know how far I'm jogging. So I put it all into a program I have on my phone called Notepad, or Color Note. It's like a sticky notepad called Color Note, and I put it all in there so that I can keep better track, and I won't have to keep going back and looking it up on Google Maps. Everywhere that I'm possibly going to be walking and running, I now know, and so I can keep track of my distance easily when I'm here in town, and I keep track of the time on the Native Clock app on my phone. So that's where I'm standing right now with that. It feels so good to be out there, but I do know that when I'm just walking, I'm not getting nearly the rigorous activity. Scooter, I'm busy right now, darling. I'm not getting nearly the vigorous activity that I get when I am at the gym doing the elliptical, the treadmill on an incline, or the stair climber, or going to the school and doing the stadium steps. So I felt like the jogging will help with it. I'm so sorry about this. Will help with that. But hey, this is YouTube, so this is not professional TV. This is just me sitting here with the inability to edit on my very old cell phone here. Freddie, please, guys, come on. Okay. Gosh. Okay. So I am going to tomorrow stick to my plan, and then the next morning, on Wednesday morning, I am going to spend 4 days with a very dear friend in Maryland, and she is so sweet. She is going to cook nutritarian for me, and so I'm just blessed, that she is cares enough to try to. This is Scooter. to accommodate me like that when she doesn't have to do that. I just really appreciate it. Okay, now I'm going to put my glasses on, and what I would like to talk about this afternoon is Dr. Fuhrman's books. For those of you who don't know much about him, I would like to tell you about today. I want to tell you about the first 4 books that he wrote, and the first 4 major books, and you might be interested at some point in purchasing these. So before I do, for me personally, I always start with the audible of a book, and I listen to it when I'm doing dishes, getting ready in the morning, when I'm exercising. Frequently I'm listening to Audible. I listen to it when I'm driving, folding clothes. Even when I'm mowing, I'll put the earbuds in and listen to books and things while I'm doing that. If I like a book really well, then I purchase it 2 other ways, if it's available. I purchase it 2 other ways, which would be the physical copy, and I also like to have it on Kindle, because I like to, if I'm out and about, I'm not going to have the physical book with me, and if I need to refer to a book, if I'm with somebody, I can pull it up in the Kindle on my phone and look things up, etc. Like on airplanes, I think the Kindle is good. So is the Audible. But I like the physical books because I prefer to take notes in physical books and highlight and things like that. And so for Dr. Fuhrman's books, when I take notes in them, I have the copies that I write in. I know this is backwards, but it says working copy, and then the year that it was published, because I have 3 books of his that he's autographed for me, and I do not write in those. I do not highlight those. Those remain pristine condition and put away. So the copies that I write in, I write working copy on them. Okay, so the first one is that he wrote in 1995. It's called Fasting and Eating for Health, a medical doctor's program for conquering disease. By the way, I'm only going to talk about the first 4, but he does have quite a few. But for today, I'm just going to talk about the first 4. Okay. So this is precise diet and fasting programs to relieve headache, hypoglycemia, rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, colitis, psoriasis, lupus, and uterine fibroids, using fasting to lose weight, how to start, what to expect, how to reintroduce food to maintain maximum benefits. This is where a lot of people mess up, is when they come off of a fast, they go nuts because they were so hungry. They go nuts and just eat everything, and that just kind of messes up frequently what they had accomplished. Also, the final bullet here is how to work with a physician for longer fasts, which Dr. Fuhrman says is the ones that are more than 3 days. So if you go back and listen to Dr. Fuhrman and some of his interviews on YouTube with various bloggers, you will hear him talk about, he did an extended fast of like 40 days when he was very young, and he felt for him that was too long, that he said it took him years to recuperate from that particular fast. So I'm not, I know now that he does believe that the catabolic state is very helpful, but, do your own research on whether or not you feel that Dr. Fuhrman supports longer fasts. As I'm saying, is that Nala cannot stand Freddie, and so he's giving her a fit, and she's telling him, get the heck out of my face right now. Okay. The next book I'd like to talk about is from 2004. Hey, let's just say this is entertainment, right? Okay, 2004, notice right here, it says Eat to Live, but notice here at the bottom that this sunburst is red. And that indicates that this is Dr. Fuhrman's original edition of Eat to Live that he first published in 2003, 2004. And I want to point out that his Audible version is this. So if you purchase his book on Audible, you will be listening to the 2004 edition, not the 2011 edition. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that's the story on that, okay? And I specifically wanted a copy of this one because in the beginning for me, that Dr. Fuhrman on Audible was it. That was what I did. I had only him, and I listened to him day and night on the Audible. I would turn it on to play. That was my motivation because at the time I had no clue that there was a community out there of other people that were following this. I did not have the connection to anybody else. All I had was his books on Audible. So I listened to this version over and over in the beginning. Okay, so the blurb says Dr. Joel Fuhrman's revolutionary diet is not about willpower. Now, there is some in the beginning to get over, but then that is true. The secret weapon here is that it is no longer about willpower. It's a totally different animal later. It's about knowledge. Eat to Live offers a healthy, effective, and scientifically proven 6-week plan for shedding a radical amount of weight quickly. The key to the program's success is simple. Health equals nutrients divided by calories. When the ratio of nutrients to calories in the food you eat is high, fat melts away. The more nutrient-dense food you consume, the more you'll be satisfied with fewer calories, and the less you will crave fat and high-calorie foods. Now, of course, we still do get fat, but we get healthy fat now. And so all the fat you get needs to be, nutrient dense with the fiber, etc., is crucial here. Eat to Live will help you live longer, reduce your need for medications, and improve your overall health dramatically. It is a book that will change the way you want to eat. Most of all, though, Eat to Live will enable you to lose more weight than you ever thought possible. Okay, so at this point, just let me say, for me in the beginning, I screwed up a lot in the beginning. Like I said, I had only myself to go by and the book. And so I feel like I made a lot of mistakes, but in the beginning, I think it doesn't matter as much. You're just getting started. I still lost a lot of weight. I lost like 50 pounds between late October and the end of May, the beginning of June that year, from 2015 to May of 2016. I lost 50 pounds. It came off quickly, and I was doing things that I wouldn't dream of doing now, but at the time it didn't matter as much. I was just getting started. So I thought at the time that I was jumping in 100% compliant, head first. I thought I was. Now I know I wasn't. But I don't think that it mattered as much. So, if you don't be so hard on yourself if you are not doing everything perfectly at the beginning. Take it a little bit step by step. In fact, the fourth book that I want to mention is kind of, his approach is that in the fourth book. Okay, so as far as the original edition, that is the story on that. Okay, then the third book that Dr. Fuhrman wrote, let me scroll here, hang on, is from 2005, and it was called Disease Proof Your Child, Feeding Kids Right. Okay, so published in 2005, and it says here, in his private practice, Joel Fuhrman, MD, helps families transform their eating habits and recover their health. His nutrient-rich eating plan can have a significant impact on your child's resistance to dangerous infections and a dramatic effect on reducing the occurrence of illnesses like asthma, ear infections, and allergies. Dr. Fuhrman explains how you can make sure your children are eating right to maintain a healthy mind and body, and how eating certain foods and avoiding others can positively impact your child's IQ and success in school. He also presents the fascinating science that demonstrates that the current epidemic of adult cancers and other diseases is closely linked to what we eat in the first quarter of life. Eating well in our early years may enable us to win the war on cancer. Bolstered by this scientific evidence, he helps you do everything you can to protect your child against developing diabetes, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune diseases, and cancer through a solid nutritional groundwork. Featuring easy-to-prepare, kid-friendly recipes that will satisfy even the pickiest eaters. Disease-proof your child will help your whole family learn to establish lifelong healthful eating habits. I have not spent as much time in this book, but now reading the blurb, I am most definitely going to go in and look at some of the child-friendly recipes that he has here, because I do have a 6-year-old granddaughter, and some of these sound really good. Vanilla carob fudge, whipped banana freeze, tutti frutti pita sandwich, soy milk fruit smoothies, rice pudding with banana apricot sauce, peach sorbet, Fuhrman's fudge sickles. Yes, I'm definitely going to look into this. Cantaloupe slush, blueberry and flax yogurt. So this is the 2005 Disease Proof Your Child that you might want to consider getting. Okay, as I mentioned, some people go into this, bam, 100%, and others take it a step at a time because they feel like if they can conquer one thing, like for example, first, just take out the meat or take out the oil. Get over that first, then move on to step 2. That works for some people. So what Dr. Fuhrman did was he came out with these books in 2008. Okay, and it's a 2-set series. Came out with Eat for Health. Okay, is what he calls them. And in a way, what these do is he gives you step by step how to go through little by little, stage by stage. So let me read what he said here. Dr. Fuhrman's scientifically proven system, Eat for Health, enables you to finally conquer your cravings and food addictions while steering your taste buds toward healthier food choices. Medical research proves that this is the most effective weight loss method ever studied. But be aware of the side effects. You may experience reversal of diseases such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and you will feel better than ever before. In this 2-book set, you're introduced to Dr. Fuhrman's high-nutrient diet style with 4 phases, so this is what I'm talking about, of meal plans and fantastic recipes. So these 2 books guide you through little by little if you prefer to do it that way rather than diving in head first, 100% compliant from day 1. Start where you are comfortable and progress at your own pace, or jump right into phase 4 to maximize weight loss and optimize the therapeutic effects for disease reversal. Book 1 of Eat for Health, the primer, teaches you how to transform your thinking about health and disease. Okay, so book 1. All right, this is the primer. This gives you the basics. So it takes the information from the original Eat for Health, Eat for Life, Eat to Live, sorry, and goes into a little bit more detail about that. And this is from 2004 to 2008, so it was slightly more updated information. Book 2 of Eat for Health, the menu planner and cookbook, gives you a step-by-step plan for making this manageable for you and your family. Plus, with over 100 great tasting recipes, you'll be amazed at how satisfying healthy food can be. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today, was the first 4 books. And in either my next installment or in a very soon future installment, I am going to go into the next 4 books. And so hopefully this will help you to understand a little bit more about Dr. Fuhrman's, his series of the chronology of his books. And so that's what I wanted to talk about this afternoon. If you got any information helpful out of this, please click like, and also I would love it if you would subscribe. And also, would you consider sharing with someone? And hopefully we can pass on the good news, the message about Dr. Fuhrman's research and about the Nutritarian plan. So again, pardon the cats. Hope everybody has a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I am going out of town for 4 or 5 days, so I am not sure when my next little video will be, so bear with me on that. But I'm hoping to interview some friends who are nutritarians at different stages in their journey, and I want them to be honest and to give you an idea of how things are for them. I have 3 friends that I'll be meeting up with here in the next week, and so hopefully they'll be willing to share with you on where they are. One is 5 weeks in, one has been doing this for a very long time, and one is like me, very close, and the second one has reached their goal, and the third one is like me, within 10 to 15 pounds of their goal. So, I'm hoping they'll be willing to talk with us a little bit. Okay, sorry about this, but I'll go ahead and end now, and everybody have a great evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.